So this is Thinking with Math Models, additional practice for investigation 2, and we're going to look at question number 8, which when you're given a graph, the question is to identify the slope and the y-intercept and write an equation for the line given. So on number 8, we're given 2 points on the line, this one and this one, and we need the slope, which is the change in y compared to the change in x. And we can use the points given, or we can use some other points. I'm actually going to do both just so that you can see that to get from this point to this point you have to go up, and then you have to go over. And so there's our up and over for this. And the question is, how much did it go up compared to how much I went over? So I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the change in y. Goes up 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 over 4. And so that actually gives me my slope of this line. Move this over so I have some space to write here. So my change in y, the up and down part, y is always up and down. So my change in y is up 6, and my change in x is over 4. And so that's my slope. Slope is always a change in y compared to the change in x. And really I can reduce this fraction to 3 over 2. And that's really as simple as I can do that. Or I could say 1.5, but 1.5 is not as useful as this. Because if you look at from this point to this point, really I could have gone up 1, 2, 3, and then over 2. And then up 1, 2, 3 more, and then over 2. So really the simplest slope is up 3 over 2 each time. And so finding the slope is just seeing how the line is changing, rise over run. We call the slope the rise over the run. In this case it is rising. Sometimes they go down, and so it would be a negative rise. And again, that's my slope. And then the y-intercept on this one is right here. And so I have to kind of figure out where that's, if that's the x line here, then I'm down 1, so that point is 0, -1. And that's the y-intercept. That's the point where it crosses the y-axis, y-intercept. And so the two things I need to write in an equation are the slope, which I have right here, and the y-intercept, which I have right here. So the equation for this is y equals 3 over 2, that's the slope, times x, plus the y value of the y-intercept. The x value is 0, the y value is -1. So I could say plus -1. It would have been better probably if I'd just written it like this, y equals 3 over 2 x minus 1. They're the same thing, but really don't like to have two operation signs together in this case. You can just, adding a negative is the same as subtraction, or really we think of subtraction as adding a negative. So that's what we have. So there's your equation for that line. The rise over the run is the slope, and then the y-intercept are the two parts of any linear equation that we need. And there you have it.